As discussion director, you will need to create a Padlet, and the Padlet will be the discussion board where you will have your questions and your group will respond. So instead of having a conversation face-to-face, this will be done on the computer, and this will explain to you how you're going to do this. So first of all, what is Padlet? It's an online discussion forum where you, as the discussion director, will post a question, or maybe you have an activity or something you would like your group to do to really get them thinking about what you've read, and your group will respond, and everyone can see the responses. This is an example right here of a Padlet that was started, and right here it says share out words that push our thinking about the world of writing and digital a little bit further, and these are all the different people's responses. So how do you get onto Padlet? Well, first you're going to need to use this web address, www.padlet.com, and it will take you to Padlet. We'll be going back and forth here. This is my home page because I'm already logged in, but I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's go back and I'll show you how to do that. So you will log in by clicking the login button that you will see when you come to your home screen because you haven't logged in yet. And then you might think, but wait, I don't have an account. But don't worry. Everybody in this class does because you each have a Google account, and Padlet is associated with Google, so you can log in with Google. So all you're going to need to do is click where it says log in with Google, and when you do that, it'll give you some choices of your email addresses. Now I have more than one email address, so I need to select the one that I have set up my Padlet with. I want to make sure I correctly pick the one that I want, the email for myself, because if I had some things previously saved and I opened up the wrong email, I might get alarmed and think things were lost. They're not, they're just on the wrong email. You should only have one of you, so you can just log on using yourself. So you're going to get a glimpse. This was the starting homepage that you saw before for me, and right now it says I have no activity to report. But we are going to make a Padlet. So this long arrow is showing you that's what you'd want to click on to make your own Padlet. Once you do, it's going to give you a choice of formats. There's many different formats, or the way it will look with your question or your activity. To start simple, we're going to have everyone start with a wall. Once you become more familiar with the Padlet, you might choose to get fancy. Maybe use a canvas, stream the question, a grid, or a shelf. But for now, let's all keep it simple and choose wall. Once you choose wall, you want to give it a title and choose a background. Right now, the title, it comes with these default titles and little things underneath. I think they're meant to be humorous. Don't get too caught up in going crazy with the title and the background. So My Luminous Wall, right over here on the side is where you'll make your changes and the arrows showing. I would change this to Discussion Director, the name of your book. It's that simple. Beneath it, it says Made with Mirth. There's a word you might not know. My word wizards might want to figure that one out. You can change the description here if you'd like. And then down here is where you'd scroll to get wallpaper. And again, this is a larger thing. You can choose more. I just went with Blackboard because it's appropriate for this. This looks to be like a scene out of The Simpsons. I would question the relevance of something like that. Just be careful not to get caught up in the actual formatting and really stay true to the task. You're going to need to make it private, which will be your next screen. And it tells you now is a good time to review privacy and invite people. So we're going to make this private so that it stays within your group. And we're going to make sure those with access can write. Well, why private? We don't need the world weighing in on our literature circle discussion. This is between you and your group mates. And that will tell you only the people you add as contributors can access the Padlet. And in the next step, when you hit next, it's going to give you the choice to add people. So how do you get your friends or your group mates' email addresses? One thing you can do is start to type in their email addresses and they might pop up, or everybody has a pretty uniform email address, so at this point you would just need to make sure that you have the spelling of their first and last name correct. You might want to have everybody write their name down on a piece of paper and pass it around, then everyone has their email addresses. As a group, you can decide those aspects of how you're going to go about that. And again, when you're done, hit next. And then you can get started. What question or activities do you have in mind? So here's my blank Padlet board. I'm all set. It says post to my heart's content. So I have my title, discussion director, wonder. I didn't change the made with mirth. And then on the next screen, you'll see by clicking on this red or pink plus sign, it allows me to start the original discussion director question activity. So for the book Wonder, I wrote, who do you sympathize more with in this chapter, Augie or Julian? Include reasons why. Everybody else would be able to start to comment on that. And that would be your role as discussion director. You'll notice my question here is not a yes or no question. It's something that would generate discussion. As people in my group started to post, it would come up on the rest of the board, and I could think about what other people have said and include some discussion around that. I can include my discussion solely around the original question. I can start to counter other people's point of views. This board will not just be limited to here. It will scroll down as we go, and it will allow you to continue your discussion for as long as needed. So again, if I go back here, you can see some of the previous ones that I have done. Oops, wrong one. Padlet, my discussion board. I can see some of my previous boards that I've done. So if I click on this one, see it pop up. And these were all of the different comments that people had, and someone even left a picture. So if I wanted to add something new, I can double click anywhere, add something new here. Here's the title. Maybe I would write second order, and again, this doesn't make sense to the content, but the using part does. So that would be my title. I could write something here. I can add an attachment by using any one of these. So if I went here, this is something I might get from the web. I could come up with a web address. I went here, close that one out. I click on the little camera. Nope, same thing. This camera. I'll allow you to scroll down here. I could take a photo from my webcam. Ta-da, there I am. Get in the screen a little bit, smile, cheese. It's going to give me a chance to say, does it look good? I'm going to say okay, even though it doesn't, and now I have that down as well. Please don't get silly with that part of it. Remember to really stick to the discussion piece. And that is the role of a discussion director and using the Padlet to create a discussion board.